people. This is my official first morning in Buenos Aires, and I woke up at 5:30. It's because I'm an early riser and I like to get my day started, especially when I'm not home because there's so much to do. And nothing is open. Nothing's open. Like nothing, not even Starbucks. Some of the Starbucks don't even open until 7, 8, or 9. I'm walking around trying to just find like a convenience store because the place I'm staying at doesn't even serve breakfast till 7 or 7:30, I can't remember. So I have an hour and a half to kill. Well, there's a lot of McDonald's nearby, so I'm gonna go pick up a cappuccino, coffee, latte, whatever there. No one's even out, and I think that just goes to show that we as Americans are all about grinding and working and getting out super early, and people in other countries just don't have that lifestyle philosophy. They're much more working to live rather than living to work, which I love, and I think Americans need to pick up on that a little bit. So we'll see if McDonald's has anything, so I've got an hour to kill. And if you're like me, mornings are a really big struggle if you don't have coffee. There's Starbucks, but you're not open for another 3 hours. But more importantly to the McDonald's is the McCafe, where we need to go. Their breakfast is a little bit more superior than the US. First of all, they have donuts and coffee, and they have croissants. They have double egg McMuffins, except they're not on muffins. They're actually just on like brioche buns or hamburger buns, which I think is interesting. And they have this toasty, and they have more egg McMuffins. Now the only bad thing, which kind of sucks, is they don't have pancakes. Hola. Can I get a cappuccino and agua?
¿Cappuccino este tamaño o este tamaño?
Okay.
Y un agua, ¿no?
Sorry?
Un agua.
Agua, yeah.
670. ¿Es para acá o llevar?
Sorry?
Para llevar.
The water? For here.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Here's the cappuccino. Very hot. They do it very well. I don't know why in the US we don't have cafes like they do in other countries. I remember being in Hong Kong and in Paris, and their coffee was amazing. I would actually go before class to McDonald's if I needed coffee or if nothing else was open. And it was just super inexpensive, way less pricey than Starbucks, and I thought it tasted amazing. I mean, I had no complaints about it. And I like McDonald's. They have free Wi-Fi. Ooh, really good. Wow. I mean, I haven't had coffee too many places, but this is exceptional for McDonald's. I'm very surprised. I do think it would be better if I had sweetener versus sugar, because for me I have to put like quadruple the amount of sugar in my coffee. This won't be the last coffee I have for the day because I've got a big MO today. I need to sit down, wait for the hotel breakfast area to open so I can upload some files and work on some stuff. But figure out what I want to do today. I know there's Rosa Palace, basically a pink palace. There's this beautiful theater where they do, there's another places where they do tango. Tango is super popular. barbecue is a big thing. I would like to try an empanada. I need to just get an itinerary started. A coffee. I don't know what's in it, but I really need to use the restroom right now, so thank goodness they have a bathroom. This morning I decided to go to the Cementerio de la Recoleta, which is a famous cemetery here, and it's just past the way that way. I just got dropped off in this park, this square, and what I am loving about Buenos Aires so far is the perfect explanation I can give it is a mix between Paris, Hong Kong, and New York. It is crazy. They've got these mega billboards, and then we've got areas like this where it just feels exactly like Paris, but you've got palm trees and these beautiful gilded pieces of artwork. There's these gold lanterns across the street. There's even a bit of London here with these telephone booths. And I'm so mad that I had breakfast because this place is just so my vibe. It's all pink. La Panera Rosa, so the pink bread place. I need to work on my Spanish, but it is beautiful. And then they have this statue over here, something with falcon on it, that just looks like something you'd see straight out of Europe. It is gorgeous. In this park, there's so many dogs around. I'm a huge dog lover, so I'm just loving all of this so far. My first couple experiences, first few hours in Buenos Aires, I'm absolutely loving it. I feel so safe here. I don't even have a concern. I mean, I'm obviously like gonna proceed with caution and with everything, as anybody should, but this is such a safe country. Looking it up and doing some research beforehand, I saw that this is the safest country in South America. So if you guys have any hesitance about where to go, I feel so safe here. It is so beautiful. It's much cleaner than Brazil, hardly any graffiti, and it's absolutely immaculate. More people speak English, which is really nice. And if you struggle, oh my god, look at these dogs. Look at the doggies. The main language is Spanish, which is a lot easier for me to understand, as I think with a lot of other Americans or Brits to understand, than Portuguese, because there are so many similarities to the language as English. And then also, a lot of us are taught Spanish in school, so there are a few things we can pick up on. Still use my Google Translate from then and there, but let's head over to the cemetery. Just wanted to fill you in on those few things. I have been walking around this entire park, and while it's been beautiful, I couldn't find the entrance until I made a complete circle, and I'm so freaking stupid, it's right here. I walked past this from the get-go, but I don't mind. It was absolutely beautiful. I saw amazing dogs. I just turned the corner, and you guys, this guy has his own chapel. Look at, his coffin's in there. He's got a mantle up there. There's a downstairs, so I don't know if that's where his family is or what. There's even a little like pew stand. He's got stained glass on the inside. I haven't been walking around for more than 5 minutes, and this place is absolutely spectacular. I'm not one who cares for cemeteries too much because they kind of creep me out, to be honest. I've been to some in Europe, and those are pretty incredible. I know there's one in Paris, although I can't remember the name, but this is, I mean, I am just marveled how, one, quiet it is in here. As you can see, I'm in the middle of the city. You can see the tall buildings back there. You can even see them on this side. This is just literally in the middle of the city. I'm close to Palermo for those of you that are looking for places to stay. But I was never expecting to come to Argentina, and maybe this is just me being naive and whatever, but I was not anticipating there to be so much French influence and almost like Italian as well, but predominantly French. And these sculptures are crazy, guys. Like, they're crazy. This is nothing at all that you'd see in the US. This guy looks amazing. I know it's a throne and stuff. Or not a throne. I know it's his grave, but I mean, maybe it's just the palm trees and the beauty and the sun that is out. But honestly, if I were to die somewhere, this is where I would want to be. And this isn't even my country of residence. It is the most beautiful, sentimental, moving cemetery. And I think if I'm not mistaken, it covers 4 acres. So I have a lot to cover here, but there is not one single boring tomb. I mean, these are all entirely different. This guy has like what looks like a phone booth. I mean, this is sweet. Let me just show you. He is in this glass chamber. There's even a delicate looking floor. He's got his head there. I don't know who he is, but then there's a rail and there's leaves, vegetation inside of there. So it's kind of like this Great Gatsby looking, oh, Dr. Jesus Martinez has, I mean, just how weird. And this guy, we just walked by, it has this archangel. This is just crazy, guys. Like, just absolutely extraordinary. The architecture and the beauty, and I don't think I'm ever going to visit another cemetery that has such exquisite beauty like this one. I mean, these are not your ordinary tombstones at all. And I get that this has most of the, you know, definitely has some very notable Argentinians and people of influence, but I mean, look at this one too. I mean, this guy's got like, maybe it's a girl, I don't know. I want to check this out. I don't want to get too close, but it's like, I don't even know what you call this. He has his own little hut. Like the only thing I've seen with hedges around it. And yes, that is part of it. That is part of this tomb. This is one giant, he has like a tiny house in this graveyard. And I'm gonna leave you guys off with this one because this is just crazy too. Dorrego Ortiz Basaldo, excuse me for my horrible accent, but look at that. Like, I'm trying not to be too loud, but I am very just floored with this. If you guys miss this and you're going to Argentina and you tell me that, I'm gonna be very upset because I don't care if you're here for the dead people, if you even know any of the dead people, or if you're even into cemeteries, because I'm not really one into cemeteries. You guys cannot miss this. And plus it was only like $10 to get in. Plus they have a bathroom. So if you need to make a bathroom pit stop, please take the time to go here. You will not regret it at all. I didn't know I was actually in the area after I got done at the cemetery, but I started walking around and things seemed very upscale. So I was thinking, okay, like, I must be in a nice area of town. I don't know, but these places are like nice. I mean, we got an Hermes across the street. There's a place called Jean-Pierre, which I know is a very nice store. I don't shop there. And then we've got some place with all these flags. Usually when you see a place that has a bunch of flags, you know that place is for rich people, because I think this is very useful if you guys want to spend time in a nicer area of Buenos Aires, which pretty much resembles Paris. It is the area of Palermo, which is a little bit north of where I am, and Retiro. So anywhere between those two areas, and they're side by side, so it's perfect. The suburb of those two places that I'm in right now is called Recoleta, which makes sense because that's the name of the cemetery. And we even have this person taking photos. I don't know if she's an Instagrammer or what, but clearly this is the place to be. I'm not really dressed appropriately, not that I care, because I'm a tourist and I'm just here to see stuff and sweating. This is the perfect sweating outfit. So obviously I smell. I hope not too many people are buying me. I can't afford anything in that store. But it's nice to window shop. Like, this is, I feel like you could walk at night out here. There are a million dogs. It reminds me kind of New York. if you remember what I was talking about, like very much New York vibes with all these big advertisements. And people are just nice. Like this is, I'm not saying people in Brazil weren't nice, because people were definitely nice. But compared to Buenos Aires, I'll just keep saying it this entire trip. I mean, I'm just in awe with this entire place. It's just so many different cultures, so many different aesthetics and vibes, if you will. And the beauty is unreal. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I'm talking about. I walked to this corner, and not only are there these beautiful, I think they're Japanese trees with this purple stuff on it, we've got the tree of life over here. What city in the world, other than Orlando, Florida, do you find a tree of life? And people are just outdoors doing their thing. I mean, we've got people, they bring their weights to these parks. And there's a Porsche over there, so this is clearly a nice area. Because every few minutes I'm blown away, quite literally, I decided to just sit down and pause for a sec and just take everything in. I mean, I don't know guys, like I legit feel like I'm in Paris. This is just unlike anything I've ever seen. And Paris is not this nice year round. Like, this is something you can get year round. This is untouchable. And because I've lived in Paris, I can tell you guys that in the winter time, Paris is nasty. And unfortunately, the French don't really like Americans. So that makes it really tough. But one thing I'm secretly enjoying, and I think I'm gonna make a separate video about this because there's just a lot to say about it. Where on earth can you get 0-calorie apple juice? I didn't know what this stuff was. I kept seeing it in the store. It's Levite Zero. And so obviously zero, you know, juice, I think. And I think you guys are watching this video and thinking I'm a total idiot, but I will pick up on more Spanish at the end of this trip, I promise. There's vitamins. I think it says no sodium. 0 calories though. If you guys are just trying to stay healthy while on vacation to combat maybe all the unhealthy food you eat while I am, normal apple juice in this volume would be around 600 calories probably, if not minimally 400. And they have it here for 0. I mean, I never would have imagined there being a place I would want to move to. And I never even thought of really going here before because I always thought Asia, Europe, whatever. I really just miss South America, and I never gave it the credit it deserves. South America is unlike any other place. People are just out here doing yoga, lifting weights, exercising in this beautiful heaven on earth place. And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the tree of life. Quite literally though, like there's no animals on it or anything, but this is the most natural form of the fake tree of life I think you're ever gonna find. And it's right here in Argentina. I'm taking a break. I ended up finding a charger because my phone was almost dead, and I didn't want to just go back to the hotel and waste time trying to charge my phone, and I'm gonna need a charger anyway, so this worked out. I can take it with me on the go, so that when I stop and get a cafe or one of these delicious 7-Ups, I can hopefully find an outlet and charge my phone. I'm gonna go through some pictures, see what I have, delete what I don't need because my storage is going crazy. Definitely recommend you guys bring an extra battery. I didn't. I just did not think I would need it because from when I was traveling a lot 4 years ago, I always needed one because the batteries of the iPhones just didn't last that long. And so I thought, oh, I have a new phone, like the battery is 4 or 5 times as long or longer lasting. And that's not the case. When you're taking a ton of photos and taking a ton of videos, your phone battery is gonna go to 0, no matter if you're on a low battery or not. Also want to say that I'm so glad they have glass bottles here because everything tastes so much better in a glass bottle. I tried going to this library that was really quite swanky, but it wasn't the library I was intending to go to. The library I wanted to go to was actually a bookshop. Got to reroute and do that. I'm gonna put my phone in airplane mode, charge it. You try to learn some Spanish. This morning I woke up and it was a little bit of a disaster. I lost all my edits to one of my vlogs. I was a little frustrated and got to later start out to this morning and you know, just needed to come out and get some fresh air. So I thought, why not today go visit some of the parks in the area this morning because it was open. I went to the Jardin Botanica, which is what I'm at now, a free park. So if you're looking for free things to do, this was free, unless I just walked in and, you know, did a disservice to the park, but just kidding. No, it's completely free. You just walk in. What's unique about this specific botanical park is, well, again, it's in the middle of the city, which is really cool because you have the urban aspect and then you have this sanctuary within it, and it is very, very quiet out here. There's not a ton of people. The reason why it's further unique is that they have different aspects around here that highlight different areas of the world. I just walked through the Europe territory and the Asia territory, and here's a sign right here so you guys can kind of understand what I'm talking about. There's America. They have, you know, a South American, at least from what I remember. So I'm just taking a tour of all these different areas. Really pretty though. They have different statues that look Roman or Greek-esque. There's a bathroom that I'm gonna need to go before I leave. I wouldn't say this is the best park I've been to by any means, but it is a nice, quiet haven in the middle of a city, and it's free, so you can come explore. I'm personally not super into plants, so that's probably why I'm not taking a huge interest into this. I probably would have paid depending on how much it was to get in. I'm a little disappointed. Again, I'm not a plant enthusiast. There's some people, like this chick over there, that just came to read in the park, and I think that makes a lot of sense because it is so quiet. Plus, it's great for pictures if you want to come take pictures. There's definitely labels going on, and this is my favorite plant thing I've seen. It has these drooped flowers, quite beautiful. But yeah, and then I'm gonna head over to the Japanese park that didn't open for another hour, so I thought, what the heck, kill some time here. And then hopefully the Rose Garden, because I think it's over there. And we'll see which botanical garden park is the best. Call it spring, like everything is new. The sunburst flowers calling on Mondays overdue. But I like everything is new. The sunburst flowers calling on Mondays overdue. But I like everything is new. The sunburst flowers calling on Mondays overdue. But I I'm gonna take my headphones out because I had them in and I didn't realize there's this pleasant music going on, which hopefully you can hear in the background. But it is beautiful. I mean, I've seen some gardens in Hong Kong and Shanghai, and this is, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say you can ever make it exactly the same, but it is pretty darn close. It's beautiful. Again, it's amongst the city, which is so unique. That's what I loved about Hong Kong, is just having an oasis in the middle of the city center. But they've got the koi fish, they've got the temple designs. Does kind of suck that you have to pay. It was $416 pesos, Argentinian pesos, which still isn't a lot, so it's fine. I did read online that some people were disappointed in this place because they thought it wasn't worth the money and it wasn't quiet. It is very quiet here, so I'm not sure what kind of day they came. And as far as being a plant person, I kind of think this park is better because while they do have everything labeled here, there's just so many more species, I think, than at the last place. And maybe they're just more unique and that's why I like them. Probably is why I like them. But it's just, I don't know, I'm enamored and so intrigued by Asian culture. Everything about Asia. I love Asia. And it's just so interesting to me. Oh, there's a snack shop. I kind of need water. But I don't know what that person online was saying. This is definitely worth it. Very quiet, very peaceful. Show you guys some more clips of the things I discover, but I love this park. I might stay for a while. I don't know. I definitely underestimate the time it takes to walk to different places. Keep that in mind when you are walking around. It takes a lot longer, and I think part of it is because there's so many places to stop on the way. Similar to Europe, there's just like always things that us Americans want to be like, ooh, ah, let's take a picture. And I found some swans that I kind of wanted to flirt with, but they weren't flirting back. So anyway, I'm at the Rose Garden. There's this beautiful, lacy, for lack of a better term, bridge over there. And this place is marvelous. I mean, I keep saying this over and over. It's the theme of the video, but I cannot just get over how beautiful this city, this country, this continent is. Look at these things. Those aren't roses, are they? Maybe, no, those have to be roses. Those are definitely roses. Okay, they just are in full bloom. There's roses everywhere. So clearly it smells amazing. It's beautiful, and I can't even explain to you the beauty this has on camera. It just doesn't look the same. I mean, I'm looking directly at the screen and it just doesn't come to the same quality. This chick is here in this beautiful gown shooting photos. I don't know if she's, I don't know, bride or something, or teen prom queen. She's gorgeous. So perfect way to take your photos. So beautiful. You know, you don't even need music for this one. The Japanese garden, the music set the tone. I mean, yeah, it might be nice if there was some like light jazz or something. This place is marvelous, and it wows me so much that you can be making your way through the city, walking along, and stuff like this exists. I can't walk along a place back home and find one of these types of places in my hometown. I mean, unless you're in New York perhaps or something. This is crazy. The amount of care they have taken for it. There clearly are a lot of different kind of roses. If you guys didn't pick up on, I'm not very good with plant life and flower life. My mom might be able to help in this regard. Just don't pick the roses. I'm sure there's a crime for that. There has to be, there should be. There's plenty of places to sit down. This really looks like something that you would stumble upon if you were visiting a palace in Europe with all those fancy mansions. People have, or did have, crazy gardens in their backyard. And I've been to a few rose gardens before. This one is perhaps the best. And guys, it's free. So if I have to go through, I'm gonna kind of give it a tie because it's just a little unfair that the Japanese park you had to pay for. I mean, that's just in a different ball field, and some people really want to do stuff that's on a budget, even if stuff isn't too expensive to get into. However, I feel like this place is a little bit more sentimental, and if you're looking to get really great photos, it's a little bit more girly, so that's probably why I'm gonna say this is the best park, specifically if you want to do stuff that is free and enjoyable. and perhaps are female. I would say the Japanese park is also the best. It just depends if you want to take the money to go in there. It is more touristy, so if you want to get a photo, it is a little bit tougher to do that. They did have a restaurant there that wasn't open. They don't have food here, so that could be another factor. But I just think for the ambiance of this place, the tranquility, and the beauty with the city buildings, the tall palm trees, the skinny tall palm trees, the fat jobs, it's kind of hard to beat this one. Ended up getting in here almost 10 minutes after I arrived so that I can figure out like the breakfast, sandwiches obviously, pastries, and salads. I don't know, I might get a couple things just because I have no idea how big these portions are. It took me about 15-20 minutes to get my food. Online it said it was a lot longer. People complained that it took forever to get their food, which is not the case. Now I know I'm maybe at an off time, maybe breakfast is more popular or whatever. I'm not quite done with my food. I got the Caesar salad with some ham, cheese, tomato sandwich, which is quite good. I hate to bear the bad news, but I wouldn't say the food here is exceptional. I think people truly just come here because it's a tourist spot, and that's very evident when you look around. And I can hear people talking around me. Half of the people speak English, which English it's spoken here, but as far as Americans being in Buenos Aires isn't a huge thing. So the fact that half the restaurant is American says a lot about how touristy it is, which has a familiarity in a way because I feel a little bit more comfortable. There's also a million people just taking, well, not a million people, but over half the people here are taking pictures, taking selfies, yada yada yada. So that's a given tourist trap there as well. I would give the food maybe like a 4. I don't think it's fantastic. Now obviously I didn't order breakfast, I haven't tried a dessert, so I can't speak to that. But I think if you're in the area, you can definitely come. If there's a wait, I would skip. I don't think it's worth waiting an hour to get in here. If you're in Argentina, in the area, have time to kill, and want to try something, it is very, very opulent inside. It is absolutely gorgeous. So for that, I do really like it. You're coming for the ambiance, you're not coming for the food. I'll leave it at that. This is really close to the hotel I'm staying at, and I've walked by it quite a few times, so I wanted to show you guys up close and personal because I haven't actually gotten right in front of it. But this is perhaps the most beautiful building I have seen in Argentina, which is saying a lot because I've seen quite a few. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's the Congress building of Argentina. I wouldn't say it's necessarily in the city center, but it also kind of is in the city center, so it is it's southeast of Palermo. Still in a good area of town. It's absolutely stunning. I would love to work in this building. It's way more attractive. This is magnificent. It's huge. It has this teal dome on top. It's got some angels on the top as well, and some statues. Who are they? It signifies something I would have to look up. But it is beautiful. And then there's a park right in front of it. So it's this huge rectangular plaza. Anyway, just lovely. It gets a lot more crowded during the day with tourists. I recommend going first thing in the morning, but you can pick up some food. You can hop on a bus around here. City buses and tour buses stop by here very frequently. You can pick up some food and chill out on some of the lawn space that I'll show you guys here in a little bit. Popular spot for people to play music. There was a pep rally or something here the other day when I walked by, but just a really lovely spot. Obviously, you can't go in, just being able to walk by this, which if you're touring Buenos Aires anyway, you're probably going to walk by this, but you might not know exactly what it is, because I just thought it was theater. It's not. It's a Congress building, so certainly worth the see. Walking to our next tourist attraction, and I kind of took a side alley, and much to my surprise, which is like great because I'm having all these unexpected nice surprises, but there's these quotes actually in English on the side, and I love them. They remind me of some of those really popular quote accounts that I see, usually coming from New York City. This one says, "Take your time getting there, it's more enjoyable." Love that one. But the one that I first saw was, "No one knows what's best for you other than you." This might be backwards for you guys. And they have, I think, an Instagram. I think the Instagram's Notes to Strangers. I just think what's so cliche about traveling is that things just kind of pop out to you in unexpected ways that you weren't obviously expecting. And I'm gonna keep my eye out to see if there's more of these quotes. It kind of reminds me of my friend Joelle. You guys might not know her. Her name's Joelle, and she quit her life in New York City that she ended up moving. Ooh, there's more quotes. She moved here, I'm on the lookout now, but she moved to the US from Germany, and now she's been all over Bali and Indonesia doing her thing. I'm so proud of her. She's having the time of her life. She noticed that she was getting all these signs from the universe in her quest to start a new life and to kind of turn a new chapter, or to turn a new leaf in her book. I think that's the quote. And not that I'm having the same experiences as her, but I do think when you travel, you kind of leave the past behind and you leave your former life behind, and you start realizing, I don't know, I guess you just like make space for new things. And whether that's quotes, whether that's angel numbers, whether that's you just getting out of your freaking head and seeing things for what they are, it's cliche, but traveling does help you kind of find yourself and realize new things, put things into perspective. And it's too easy to be at home and get stuck in the daily rut of living under a microscope. I know that's how it was for me for so many years, is all I could think about was what I was doing, and I couldn't even fathom that something else was out there other than me in my room and my computer. I urge you guys that if you do have time, and whether it's a couple of days, whether it's a month, whether it's a year, just go somewhere you didn't think you would ever like and take a leap of faith, because my favorite quote is, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." And I'm always obviously a proponent for that because it is my favorite quote, but it's so true. You're never gonna experience things unless you get out of your element. So if it takes just looking at a couple quotes that I'll share with you guys, then that'll do it. There's never gonna be a perfect time for anything. You just gotta push yourself to do it. As you can see, well, they have English tours every day, which is nice. You just have to wait till 9 a.m. And here is the main Julio Street I'm talking about. And here is the front. Don't have the best angle because I'm so close to it, but certainly worth going to see. If I have time to see an opera show here, I definitely will. It does kind of resonate, the Opera House, the Palace Garnier in Paris, France, just because there is so many French influences in the architecture here. But once I flip around, you'll be able to see the French a little bit. Maybe when I come back with my boyfriend or something, we can see an opera here. Decided to make a little bit of a pit stop at the Gallery Pacifico, which is, I think, just translated to Pacific Mall. This is supposed to be the nicest mall in Buenos Aires. It's supposed to be the most high-end. However, I don't really know what the technical high-end shops here. There's some American companies I'm familiar with, like Tommy Hilfiger, there's Lacoste. And as far as the interior, it's quite nice. I was expecting I guess I was expecting a little more because of how tucked up this place was. It's not, I thought it would be similar to can't think of the name of it, but the very popular mall in Paris. Anyway, the architecture is really beautiful. It's not that big. I was thinking it was going to be on a much grander scale. I think it's more so a place people just walk around, maybe dine and eat and kind of be seen rather than shop. Looking at the reviews online, I read that people truly just come here to walk around, which is what I'm doing. I'm not buying anything. They have some unique stores, quite a few I've never heard of, but it's definitely a unique spot. Nice to kind of get out of the heat for a little bit, kind of see the different fashion and stores they have here. Just as a word of caution, I have heard that things are marked up. So if you're interested in buying something, I would certainly see if there's another store elsewhere that you can get it cheaper, kind of like buying something in Times Square or Michigan Avenue. It just so happens I'm walking right by this, so I thought I would show you guys because I wasn't sure what it was called, though I've seen it in a little tour guide, or a lot of tour guides online. It's the Obelisko Monument right then and there. Looks a lot like the Washington Monument, and this gives me major Paris vibes because if you guys have been in Paris, not only are these buildings just perfect representations of that, but the whole having a monument and then having a circular drive around it, and then having all these little places you can, kind of like a star formation that people drive. That's what this area, I've come to find out, is all about. So there's the monument. Do not mistake it for the Washington Monument in DC. This is insanely bizarre. So I just walked by this school here, and evidently, I don't know if these kids get out early on Fridays, but there's literally a dance party going in the center of the square.
At that time, the doors that you see of the wind or the water from the rain.
This place was a little hard to find, but I finally made it to this bookstore that is all over the place. And I mean, look at this. This is just craziness. I wish we had these back in the States. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to be a little quiet because we are in a bookstore. This used to be a theater that they transformed into a bookstore, which glad they did because this is the nicest bookstore I've probably been in. They made good use of it. I mean, if you look over here where the important people watch a play, they don't really have anything in there, but they just have books on books on books on books in here. I'm gonna take a peek around. This is something that is actually where it says it is. There's so many things that I look up around Buenos Aires and they're like a block or two off, which can be very, very frustrating. This is actually where it says it is, so that was really great. I'm gonna see what the view is like from above, but the ceiling is decorated. They have spotlights all over the place, super, super pretty. I don't know if they have anything in English. I'm gonna see if they do because I kind of need a book. Again, a really beautiful thing to see. I don't know the whole history of this place, but it is definitely as beautiful as trying to locate these guys on the map, and it's kind of hard because I don't know the language, but looking around at these animals, I would assume this is the capybara, but I'm not sure. I also have no idea where I am on the map, so that makes it a little difficult. Well, maybe I'm down here. Oh yes, okay, so I'm down here. I need to make my way all the way here. They purposely stick those guys in the back, which is by the Patagonia area, which should be pretty cool. Also saw that I think they have a white tiger over here, so I will be stopping back there, but really hoping the grand prize is right there. Long story short, I have been trying to find a capybara my entire trip, which hasn't, granted, been like super duper long, but I've been trying to find a capybara since I've been gone, which has been very difficult because there's like no information on it. And I looked in Brazil and didn't feel too safe exploring that area. But now I'm in Argentina, and there was an overflow of them in this area, private neighborhood for more wealthy people. But I read online this guy did that after coronavirus and he couldn't find them. Decided it wasn't probably worth the effort because if I can't get into the gated community, it's not worth it. I'm at this park now that has promised me, I looked about 10 different times, that have capybara. So while they're not in the wild, I'm gonna see if this 50-minute trip outside the city is worth it. There's a zebra right there, so at least I'll be able to see some animals. I really just want to see capybara. They're so cute. All right, I finally found them after walking around for about an hour. But I'm gonna be really, really pissed if they're not down here. Like, really pissed because I've spent so much time and money trying to find these cute things. Oh my god. Oh my god, there it is. There it is. There he is. You guys see him? He's right there. He's peeking. Oh, what a cutie! What a cutie! I really hope I can get closer. Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Really, this is a much, much better view of him. But I'm a little upset because there is only one. I'm looking around. There's some other kind of rodent over there. It's not a capybara. And unfortunately, this little guy's sleeping, so I can't really see him out and about doing his thing. And they're nocturnal, so this makes sense why he's sleeping. And I was really afraid this guy was gonna eat him, but I'm guessing because they're in the same enclosure, they're friends. I don't know, but I'm very happy I got to see one, even if it's Empanadas are the most popular thing outside of a barbecue and steak in Argentina. So I am trying one, and it is super hot, so I've had to let it cool down for probably 5 minutes already, and it's still just blazing hot. But I'm starving, so I'm probably gonna burn my mouth, but I want to see how good these are, so here we go. So I can see the steam coming out of this. This is a lot better than I thought it would be. I didn't think I'd really like these. I got a steak one, and this is really, really good. I don't know if you can see the steam. This is really hot. Really good, although I feel like it could perhaps use ketchup. Maybe that's just an American thing of me to say. If it did have ketchup, I think it would be better. Or sour cream. Sour cream would be really good as well. And now I kind of want to try a bunch of other ones. I'm gonna have to try some more when I get back, because I only wanted one just in case I didn't like it, but they're definitely really good and worth it. That will do it for the Buenos Aires, Argentina vlog. I have been so delightfully surprised by this city. I was never anticipating it to be one of the cities I would see so quickly, so I'm really glad I got to stop by. Would totally have you guys add it to your travel bucket list if it's not there already. If you haven't stopped anywhere in Argentina, I would 100% recommend Buenos Aires. If you guys have been to Buenos Aires, you may want to add the Patagonia area to your next travel stop, as I have done already. Make sure you guys pack warm. It never gets too cold here, except like today where it's raining. Make sure if you guys have any other comments or concerns, drop them in the comments below. Hopefully I can answer them for you guys. This has been a great trip. I'm sad to leave. I'll have to come back. But make sure you also watch my vlog on Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, if that is something you guys are looking to travel to or just curious about as well. And make sure you subscribe to not miss out on any of my future videos. Like this video if you, well, liked it. Hopefully you did. And I shall see you guys next time. Bye.